Sometimes you simply don't have time to think about things when you're buying a home. Everything seems to be moving so fast. Once you've decided you found the house, you can sometimes still experience buyer's remorse. Did you make the right decision? Did you overpay for the house? Could you have gotten a better house for the same amount of money? What if you bit off too much and can't afford the mortgage? What if something big goes wrong with the home and you can't afford it? Did I really get the best interest rate possible, or should I have tried harder for a better deal? The questions can go on and on. So how can you avoid buyer's remorse when purchasing a home? First off, be realistic and understand that buying a home is probably one of the largest items you will ever buy. That fact alone is enough to make you have a few doubts. Feeling home buyer's remorse is perfectly normal, and in most cases is really just a case of jitters or cold feet, more often than actual remorse. You should have created a checklist of items you felt you wanted or needed, or items you think were not needed when you looked at homes. It's time to take out that list and read it over. Is it realistic to back out of the deal now? Will you really find something better in the future? Is it worth the financial losses you would take? If you answer that losing any money would be better than making this deal, then perhaps you should back out. But the reality is you're probably going to realize that you've looked long and hard, and this was the house that popped for you. If it's not worth backing out because you know that you've looked and looked only to find nothing until this one that made your heart skip, then that's a positive sign. What's causing this sense of remorse? Is it the fear of how much you paid for it? Then take out the CMA that your buyer's agent gave you and look to see what the amounts are for similar homes that sold in the area. The chances are you didn't overpay. No matter what friends and family may say, you dealt with a professional with professional tools that helped you determine the true value of your house. Are you still looking at other homes? If you are looking at homes that maybe you can't afford or hope that someday you can afford, then you may be causing yourself to be experiencing envy more than remorse. The truth is, if you're looking at homes even after you've set your closing date, it may mean that you're not happy with the home that you're going to purchase. Think about getting out of the deal with minimal financial damage. Do you have a buyer's agent that isn't doing their job? If you find that your agent has suddenly dropped off the face of the earth, it can definitely cause a little panic. You may have some last-minute answers you want or questions about the process you want to ask, and your realtor should be there for you. If not, you have good reason to panic, and you need to step up to get your questions answered, even if that means showing up to the agency itself. Sincere doubts about your financial situation or stability can also cause fear and remorse. You have to remember that nothing in life is guaranteed, and things can change with the wind. Sometimes you have to take chances, and most of the time you will find a way to make things work, even in the worst of times. Instead of concentrating on what could happen and the negative events that could happen after you sign that contract, sit back and think about the positive aspects of owning your own home and about the excitement of moving into a new place. If you really are concerned about buying a home, make sure you have certain conditions written into the contract and offer that will offer you to back out of the deal without any major penalties, especially if certain changes occur, such as your finances falling through. These contingencies should always be written in the offer you make on the house to help avoid buyer's remorse. If there are any problems with the title search or deed, then you should be able to pull out of the deal with no penalties. If the home inspection uncovers major repairs that are needed, you should be able to pull out of the deal with no penalties as well. It's not unusual to have fears and a little bit of buyer's remorse just before you have your closing. You're definitely not the first person to wonder, am I doing the right thing? What if? And you won't be the last. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and look deeply into the reasons you are feeling fear of the situation to see if they are truly valid and realistic. In the end, you're probably going to end up loving your new home and being happy with the choice you made.